What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today we've got an absolute bombshell to talk about, because Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has finally lost his patience, and what he said about Matt Eberflus is something that absolutely nobody saw coming. You could almost feel this boiling over for weeks, maybe months, and now it's exploded into the open. So grab your drink, hit that like button, and buckle up, because this one is going to be a wild ride through frustration, pressure, and a franchise that just can't seem to get out of its own way when it matters most. You know, every single year we look at the Cowboys, we see the talent on that roster, we see the hype, the massive expectations, the talk about how this is finally going to be their year. And yet, here we are again. The defense, which was supposed to be one of the team's biggest strengths after the hiring of Matt Eberflus as defensive coordinator, has become a talking point for all the wrong reasons. And when Jerry Jones talks, and I mean really talks, people listen. Because Jerry doesn't mince words when he's angry, and this week, you could tell that patience is hanging by a thread. Now, if you know Jerry Jones, you know that he's not your typical quiet NFL owner who hides in the background and lets the football people handle football decisions. Oh no, Jerry is the show. He's the voice, the face, the heart, and the sometimes overly emotional brain of the Dallas Cowboys. When he feels something, the world knows it, and when he goes public with frustration toward a coach or a coordinator, it's never random, it's a message. It's a calculated, emotional signal that says I've seen enough. And this week, that message was aimed squarely at Matt Eberflus, who, despite having some strong credentials and a reputation as a smart defensive mind, is finding himself in the middle of one of the most high-pressure coaching environments in the entire NFL. Imagine walking into a team with championship expectations, an owner who's desperate to win now, a defense loaded with stars, and a fanbase that's tired of excuses. That's what Eberflus stepped into, and right now, it's starting to crumble around him. Jerry Jones was asked about the Cowboys' defense, and his tone said it all. He didn't just deflect, he didn't just say we need to play better. He said that they've had multiple coordinators in recent years, and that the constant changes are on him. And you know what that means, that's the warning shot. That's Jerry saying I've made my mistakes with who I've trusted, and if things don't change soon, I'll fix it again. You could almost hear the frustration bubbling beneath his words, like he's just done watching the same issues play out over and over. Because think about it, this is a team that has all the ingredients to win: an elite pass rush, playmakers on both sides of the ball, a capable quarterback, and one of the most dedicated ownership groups in sports. But what's been holding them back? Inconsistency, discipline, and right now, a defense that can't seem to stop giving up explosive plays. Now, Jerry's comments about Eberflus were surprising not because he criticized him directly. Owners criticize coaches all the time in subtle ways, but because of how public it was. Jerry has a history of backing his coaches publicly even when the fans are calling for heads to roll. But this time, he basically said, we know Eberflus, and he needs to fix this fast. And when Jerry Jones says you need to fix this fast, it's not a casual suggestion. It's a demand, it's a line in the sand. And it's one that Cowboys fans have seen before, because Jerry's patience tends to run on a short fuse once the media and fan pressure start to build. The timing also makes it even more interesting, because the Cowboys' defense has been underperforming exactly when the team needs it most during a stretch of the season that could define their playoff hopes. Every big game, every crucial drive, it seems like the same problems keep popping up: missed tackles, blown assignments, a lack of aggressiveness, and poor situational awareness. And when you're the defensive coordinator of America's team, those issues aren't just football mistakes, they become headlines. Eberflus, to his credit, hasn't lashed out or made excuses. He's stayed professional, saying that the team is working on communication, execution, and reducing explosive plays. But you can tell the tension is there. You can feel it every time Jerry Jones goes on the radio or does one of his interviews, where he tries to sound optimistic but ends up sounding like a man who's running out of reasons to believe. And fans can feel it too. Cowboys Nation is one of the most passionate, loud, and emotionally invested fanbases in all of sports, and right now they're split. Some fans are defending Eberflus, saying it's too soon, that he inherited a defense with its own issues and deserves time to implement his full system. Others are furious, calling for a mid-season change, saying that the team has too much talent to look this flat on defense. And the funny thing about the Cowboys is that no matter what's going on, there's always drama. There's always this undercurrent of tension between ownership, coaching, and expectations. Let's talk about that expectation for a minute. The Cowboys aren't just another NFL team. They're a brand. They're a billion-dollar empire built on glitz, history, and the idea that they're supposed to win championships. Anything less is viewed as failure. And when you've gone nearly 30 years without even a Super Bowl appearance, the pressure gets unbearable. Jerry Jones is 80+ years old now, and every single year that passes without another Lombardi trophy feels like time slipping away. He's not just running a team, he's chasing legacy, redemption, and relevance. So when he looks at a defense that's inconsistent, that's giving up plays late in games, that's not intimidating opponents the way it used to, drives him crazy. And that frustration is exactly what exploded in those comments about Eberflus. It's not personal, it's desperation. And here's the thing, Matt Eberflus is not a bad coach. In fact, when he was with the Colts, his defensive units were disciplined, smart, and fundamentally sound. That's why the Cowboys brought him in after his stint as head coach in Chicago ended. They wanted that structure, that accountability, that technical precision. But what works in one city doesn't always work in Dallas. Because Dallas is its own world. The spotlight here is relentless. Every minor slip-up becomes a viral clip. Every miscommunication turns into a crisis. When you combine that with Jerry's constant media presence, it creates this high-wire act where everyone in the building knows they're being watched and judged every week. And now that the defense has stumbled, Eberflus finds himself standing right in the middle of that fire. At the end of the day, this story isn't just about Jerry Jones or Matt Eberflus. It's about the never-ending tension between expectation and reality in Dallas. It's about a franchise that's desperate to win and an owner who refuses to accept anything less. It's about the power of words, how one quote can shift the narrative, spark controversy, and change the temperature inside a locker room. And most importantly, it's about the pressure cooker that is the Dallas Cowboys, where every move, every mistake, every comment becomes national news. Because in Dallas, there's no hiding. Everything is magnified, every decision has ripple effects. So as fans, as analysts, as people who love the chaos and the drama of football, we're watching this play out like a live soap opera. Will Eberflus rise to the occasion and prove he's the right man to lead this defense, or will Jerry Jones' impatience force yet another reset? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure: when Jerry Jones speaks like this, it's never just noise. It's a signal, and if history has taught us anything, it's that when Jerry's patience runs out, change is coming. So buckle up, Cowboys Nation, because the next few weeks could define not just this season, but the future of this entire team. And as always, let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you think Jerry was right to call out Eberflus publicly? Is it fair, or is it just adding more drama to an already chaotic season? Drop your thoughts, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Cowboys news and analysis, because this story is far from over. Trust me.